so big it's just going to mean that you're going to have to be very careful with how you drive it, and parking it is just a pain in the butt. Sorry to say. I'm just thinking about material quality.
Uber Lyft asked if it's luxurious. Would you consider this a luxurious vehicle?
So luxurious entails comfort, amenities, and ride quality. 1 out of 3 of those, the F-250 Tremor has. It has comfort. These seats are very, very comfortable. I could totally see you just, taking a long trip in these and not having issues. Ride quality is firm.
It is.
I'm
feeling that already.
Yeah, with this suspension, without anything in the bed to dampen that up, it's firm, right? And amenities, you've got a touchscreen infotainment with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got heated and ventilated seats. So it's like, 1.5 luxurious. It's not really this truck's intent. If you want like a straight up luxury truck, the new F-150 like Platinum is seriously luxurious. That truck is also more expensive than this.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the Platinum is like a $70-something thousand truck.
Jeez.
Or the Ram 1500, which trim of that?
T-Rex.
Yeah, the T-Rex would be amazing, but yeah, it is still pretty luxurious, that truck.
Kevin asked, does this compete with the GMC Sierra Denali?
No, the Sierra Denali would be an F-150 competitor. The Sierra 2500 HD, that would be a competitor to this. 3/4 ton class versus a half-ton class.
Let's see, and then the last question we have from Instagram or YouTube is, we already did this, top speed. Oh, is it a good desert runner?
Yeah, so that was a question I kind of answered a little bit by saying, its top speed is 95 miles an hour. Desert runners are like, they can do high speeds for extended periods of time. They've got remote reservoir suspension systems and all that. That's not really this truck's thing. It can handle washboard roads, as you'll see in my PB drive impressions. It can really take the punishment because its suspension system has been tweaked. You've got beefier shock absorbers, stiffer springs, so it can handle impacts better. There's a larger oil reservoir within the shocks, and so that can handle the fluid displacement when you're handling like washboard roads. So it can deal with all that, but it just, it's not really a desert runner. I would choose a lighter truck for that. Got a lot of body that's bouncing around.
Kevin is on it with the good questions.
Okay.
He says, does this have cylinder deactivation?
Good question, Kevin. It does not. Yeah, so I was just in the new Corvette, right? That's a naturally aspirated V8, and that one has cylinder deactivation. This one doesn't, and so it's not really going to save fuel. You do have a 10-speed automatic gearbox, though, so we can get to a pretty high gear, and therefore kind of allow the engine to just sort of lazily churn away, and that's going to be the way you'll get the best of your fuel economy. But 6,600 pounds, 430 horsepower. The EPA doesn't even rate trucks like this because they're so heavy. So it doesn't have an EPA rating, but independent tests will see between 12 and 14. I've been getting 10. Still better than the T-Rex. I was getting 7.
There's no way you were driving that thing slow, though.
No, that's true. That's true. This one I've been driving, like a sane person. And 10.
Lyrical Daily asks, what liter is it?
7.3 liters.
It's a big V8.
Yeah, it's a huge engine. In this day and age, 7.3 liters is monstrous.
Yeah, especially for a V8.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about the Viper. What is that? An 8.4 liter V10?
Jesus.
Nuts. But yeah, 7.3 liter V8, and this is the upgraded engine over the 6.2 liter. That's the standard V8.
Lyrical Daily asks, will it beat this Silverado? Definitely not in a straight line.
Yeah, no, again, if we're talking about the regular Silverado, the disadvantage for something like an F-250 is it's a bigger, heavier truck. So if you were doing F-150 against Silverado, that would be a more interesting fight, especially because the F-150 has its power boost engine, and the Silverado has a couple different V8s at your disposal. It's got diesels. F-150 has diesel too. But F-250 against a regular Silverado, I don't think so. The Silverado 2500 HD, that would be a pretty interesting little mashup, because the 7.3 liter in this will make more power, I think, than the 2500 HD's. What's it make? 410, I think. So it might get the jump on that one.
Kevin kind of asked this question. He asked about like the gas prices right now and like how much it'll cost to fill up. So, good question is, how big's the fuel cell?
The fuel tank?
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head how big the fuel tank is.
It's gotta be huge.
So I'll say this. I've been driving. Let's see, how many miles have I put on the truck? Because they always reset these for me. So I've driven 164 miles, and I'm at a little over half a tank. So, the truck probably has a range of 350-ish, 400.
That's not that good.
No, yeah, 350-ish. So that's probably the range of this truck if you're kind of daily driving it. If you're doing a lot of highway driving, it'll do better. But yeah, 350-ish is the range. So you kind of factor that in. I've been getting 10 miles to the gallon. So, 35-gallon tank probably. It's just backwards math.
I was trying to look at
Just trying to look it up.
How big the fuel tank is.
All right, I'm going to put my foot down here. Okay. Yeah, it gets moving.
Does it though?
Yeah. Does it though? It gets moving. Like, it's not getting moving in a hurry. But also, keep this in mind, right? We're very high up off the ground. The sensation of speed is not there in a truck like this. The speedometer that I was looking at, I was like, okay, the speeds are climbing. But yeah, the sensation of speed is not there when you're this high off the ground and you don't have a lot of noise to go with it. You've got some noise from that 7.3, but not a lot of it. You do have a manual mode in this truck, which is funny enough. So you click it down, and then you control the gear changes via these toggles right here. But because it's a 10-speed automatic gearbox, you're clicking down so much to get down to a usable gear. And did you hear how long after I hit the click, it actually changed the gear? It's not a sports car transmission. It just takes forever to change gears in manual mode. That was the shift.
God.
That was the shift right there.
Okay, we need to explain to them. So do it again and say right when you shift.
Okay, so yeah, so in case you can't hear it. So I'm downshifting, accelerating, upshift now, and it changed gear.
That's
a second and a half, probably.
That's one of the slowest I've ever seen. I think that is the slowest I've ever
Probably.
seen.
Okay, again, it's not a sports car. The transmission is not meant for the manual mode in this truck is so to have control over like low range power. That's really what it's for. It's not for these shifts at speed. But you guys are probably so used to me driving sports cars that you're like, that's the slowest gearbox in the world, and it's slow in manual mode. But again, that's not what the truck is for. But it was just a fun demo.
Okay, Peyton said, I was late to the Jeep Wrangler 392 Hemi.
Okay, well, that guy just cruised up on me real hot. You were late to the...
someone asked, how was the Jeep 392?
It was great. If you didn't see my review, guys, go check that one out. Because that was tons of fun, that truck.
I can't believe it took them so long to make that.
The 392?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, people have been asking about it for so long. But yeah, that truck was so much fun. What, any other questions coming in?
Let's see.
People probably don't want to look at me, too. You can see out at the windshield. Not that interesting.
Does it have trailer mode?
Yeah, so towing package is, I think, standard on the F-250. And so you've got trail braking over here on the left-hand side, and it can tow, even in Tremor form, it can tow 15,000 pounds.
Jeez.
It's got a ton of towing capacity. I think in the right spec, you can tow something like almost 30,000 pounds. It's insane. I had a remark, which was just that this truck's actually kind of like reasonably quiet at lower speeds.
Yeah.
The V8 just like goes to the background, and you're just kind of cruising. So that was pretty surprising to me.
The only thing I would like wish more with the interior is just the suspension, like how stiff it is. I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect that out of this big of a truck.
Well, so okay, you're thinking about, this is the F-250 Tremor, right? So the suspension is set up to handle the impacts of off-roading. So it's going to be stiffer than the standard F-250 suspension just around town. But when you're off-road, you need that extra resistance, the damping force when you're hitting impacts. So I think the suspension, yeah, I agree. It's stiff around town. And if you're not going to take your F-250 off-road, don't get the suspension setup. But when you are off-road, you will appreciate the extra kind of resistance that you have to impacts. Again, that'll be a plug for my my POV driving impressions when that gets published.
Lyrical Daily asks, can the Redeye beat the TRX?
Yes,
By far.
definitely, by quite a bit. First of all, it makes another 80 horsepower over the TRX, and it doesn't have the weight of that truck. Lower center of gravity, less, better aerodynamics. Yeah, and the Redeye would definitely. It also has wider tires. Yeah, it would dust the T-Rex.
Whoa, wait.
What?
Of course.
What?
Ed Starr.
Ed Starr. I missed you, Ed. Our last 2 live Q&As, not just because you're so generous with the super chats. I missed your questions. Where you been, dude?
He contributed a big ol' hundo.
Oh my gosh, Ed.
And he said, happy July 4th holiday with the 7.3 liter V8.
Oh man, this is an American dream right here. Ed, thank you so much. I so appreciate it. Happy 4th of July to you and to everyone else watching this video. Yeah, 7.3 liter. That's a firework right there. This engine.
That was
And
so
we are going
funny.
slow right now. I want to be like, yeah, no, let's hit the gas. We're just going so slow right now.
It was so funny. The question didn't come up yet,
Yeah.
but I saw the $100 at the top. I was like, did I miss that? No way I missed that.
Nope. Yeah. Thank you, Ed. That's so awesome. I will find a time to put the hammer down.
Yeah,
So you can
George
hear that
said,
engine.
let me hear that kick down.
Yeah, so I'll make a U-turn up here, and again, we'll show you just how bad the turning radius is on this truck. Oh, we got someone sitting right there too, so it's going to be...
Oh, they have to go first.
Yeah, obviously. There's just no way. I'm going to sort of steer this person through. Any other questions I can answer in the meantime?
Okay, Peyton asked, do you think most of these vehicles that are gas right now, do you think they'll keep gas engines or go all electric? Oh, I hate this question. It
Yeah.
makes me so sad.
Yeah, it does make you sad. Okay, so here, we're doing a turning radius test.
Okay. Oh.
Huh? No one coming? Yeah. All right.
Better
we
than
did
I
it.
thought.
That was
Better
better
than
than
I
I thought
thought.
too. Yeah. So trucks like this big class of vehicle will probably be among the last to go all electric. But I think there will be some alternative energy transition that happens for even these kind of trucks.
Tuxedo Black Cat keeps asking if it's easy to drive. I don't think he heard you talk about
Oh,
it.
okay, Tuxedo Black Cat. I did answer your question. No, not a very easy truck to drive. Again, dimensionally is a problem. You also just have the simple fact that there's a lot of steering input that you have to make. Hang on, I just want to move it down.
Yeah.
Another one is braking. So when you've got 6,600 pounds to slow down, your brakes can be big and burly like they are in this truck, but you're still fighting the force of gravity, and you're fighting, Newton's law here. You're fighting a lot of physical forces here. So the braking, you're also gonna have to be so early with the brakes. Just want to accelerate it. I like that noise. I like that noise.
It's crazy because like I feel like it makes a lot of noise, but doesn't really go anywhere.
Dude, again, a lot of it is just your perspective. You're so high off the ground. It was getting moving. I don't have complaints about that.
I think I'm just so used to when I'm in cars with you and we punch it, typically we're going really fast.
Just like throwing it back. Yeah, this is not that. First of all, you might just get slightly more comfy in the seat. Yeah. That's what happens like when you accelerate in this truck.
Joras, how's the gas mileage?
Oh, terrible. Yeah, so I've dipped now into the 9s.
Nice.
With that latest fuel economy run, or that latest acceleration run. Oh, I went back up to 10, so we're just barely there.
Just hit 10.
Yeah, so
9.9 to 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when you fill up this truck here in California, at least with gas prices,
it's $500.
Yeah, no. It's not $500, Brett. It's a lot of money though. I'm just thinking, okay, so a 35-gallon tank at $425, $430. Oh man, I'm so bad at math. What? $150 ish?
Yeah, because my
$150 to fill up a tank of gas.
That sounds about right, because
it's probably right, but that's nuts.
Yeah, no, I mean, like where I fill up, like next to my house, it's like $4.55, and so I'm getting killed.
That's absurd, dude. You got to make the trek to.
Well,
especially in your truck.
Now I fill up by work instead, so it makes it better.
Yeah, around Speedy Gas, they've got the cheapest gas.
Lucky. Yeah, my truck's 32 gallons, I think, and it's like 140 if I'm all out.
Yeah, that's a ton of money.
It sucks.
And you want to buy a Hellcat?
I switched to a C8.
You have a Death Wish?
I switched to a C8.
Okay, so that's the new goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since they delayed the Z06.
Yeah.
So now I have more time. I have more time to
There you go. Well, you got to drive in the C8 with me. That was fun, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good truck. That was a good car. So on truck brain. Okay. Any other questions we got?
Tuxedo Black Cat asks, is it a hard truck to take care of? Maybe because it's so big.
I mean, so let's just think about what you would do with a normal car. Put oil in it, need a step ladder. To take it through a car wash, can't go through your average car wash.
You won't fit.
So you're gonna have to go to one of those wash stations where you like power wash it. It's outside, so that's gonna mean a little harder for you in terms of that. It's not an easy vehicle to take care of. It's harder than your average vehicle. That is to be sure.
Oh, does this fit in parking garages?
Oh man, if it's no, because a lot of parking garages are like 6'10" is their height limit, at least here in the U.S. Okay, so for those watching internationally, 6'10" is kind of like our limits for parking garages. So it would not fit in those.
Yeah.
So no, I mean like Tuxedo Black Cat, who always asks about how easy a vehicle is to drive, has the most relevant question for this live Q&A. Look at another F-250.
He's got the diesel though.
Yeah, he does.
See that? That's
a $10,000 upgrade option. That's a big guy. That was a big guy in that truck.
That's the guy.
He filled out the cabin.
Yeah. He's the type of guy that needs that thing.
He needs the diesel. He needs the torque from the diesel to get the truck moving. Yeah.
Ed Starr said you can add the Tremor package to the F-250 King Ranch edition and impress the neighbors.
There you go. Yeah, so I know you can add the Tremor package. I think you can only the first level you can start at is I think Lariat. I don't think you can do XLT Tremor. I could be wrong, but the Tremor package is cool if you take it off-road. And once again, guys, I'll plug my POV drive impressions when those are up. because you'll get to experience a little bit of off-roading, nothing too crazy, just a little bit of off-roading, in addition to me driving it around town and giving my impressions, more than just this live Q&A.
Kevin asked if it's easy to parallel park.
Oh my goodness, Kevin. How big of an opening do I have? Because if I have the whole street to parallel park, yeah, we can probably figure it out.
Yeah, you need about 30 feet.
Yeah.
To 30 to 50 feet.
Yeah, again, that's why, like, someone asked about the 360 camera. That would be a great option to include on a truck like this. It's an option, but I would definitely check that box just to have that availability. But you do have the side door mirrors, and you do have that wide angle low camera, so it'll help you in the parallel parking situation. But you just have to get used to the dimensions of a truck like this. So
Right.
just like one last comment, here in the highway, right? Someone asked about the hum. So the hum from the tires, like, we can hear it, right?
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
It really isn't bad.
No.
So that is not something that you have to be going, oh man, I went with the off-road package, I got these tires, they're just gonna be like, like all the time. No, it's really not bad. It's a quiet hum. And this is one of those road surfaces where if your tires make noise, they would make extra noise here.
Yeah. Lyrical Daily keeps asking, can the Dodge Demon beat the GT500? Yes. 100,000% yes.
Yeah. So in terms of 0 to 60, yes.
Like drag strip? Yes.
100%.
On a
Or
track?
racetrack?
No way.
Yeah.
Not even close.
No, not even close. All right, guys.
Oh, Miles Lambo says, hey Miles, I'm Miles.
Hey, Miles. From Miles. How many miles do you drive? Gosh, I hated that question when I was younger growing up.
Kevin said, can you drive this from LA to Vegas?
On one day? Probably.
Like comfortably? Like,
Comfortably,
you think you'd be
yeah.
comfortable?
I think you can be comfortable. If you're doing highways, yeah, you can do it comfortably. If you're doing like city streets and it's like really chewed up roads, I don't think you'd be comfortable. Because again, the suspension is firm. If you put some stuff in the bed where it's dampening it a little more, yeah, you probably get back to the comfort level.
Leon asked, is it worth it to buy a Hellcat in 2021? Yeah, start buying now.
Yeah, seriously.
Now's
Buy
the
those
time.
cars. Because they're dinosaurs. They're going to be extinct at some point soon.
And I personally think they're going to go up in value.
I do too.
Yep.
I do too. They did make a lot of them, so
Yes.
it's gonna be a while before they go up in value. But when everyone crashes theirs, or they just disintegrates because they drove them for too many miles, then yeah, the values will go up on those.
I would say it's most worth it to buy a Redeye or the Demon. Yeah, they didn't make as many Redeyes.
Yeah, I mean,
and
if you have a demon like Carl did, he's doing the smart thing. He puts miles on it, but he doesn't put too many miles on it.
Yeah.
He put the seat covers on to protect the seats. Like, that is going to be a collector's item, that demon.
Yes. That thing will be going up and up and up in
Yeah.
value.
Also, I mean, if you have the super stock would be a good one to buy as well, because the demon doesn't need anymore. And if you have a super stock and you're watching this, please let me drive it. So I think that'd be a great video on the channel. Please let me drive it. Driven Hellcats, now I've driven a demon. I need to find is there a sweet spot in the middle? The demon's great, so I don't think it's going to beat that, but I still want to drive it. All right, guys, we're sitting at a stoplight. That's how I'm going to end this one. Thank you for watching this live Q&A. Stay tuned for all the F-250 Super Duty POV drives that are coming to the channel. And yeah, have a great 4th of July, everyone. Thank you, Ed Starr, so much. And I just wish everyone a happy Independence Day if you're here in the States. If not, then celebrate with us our independence.